Hello, sports fans! Welcome to the broadcast booth. I'm Jason Aaron Goldberg, and this is Card Collecting Shenanigans. While you're here, hope you'll subscribe. It's the fourth night of the 8 breaks of Hanukkah, and as promised, we're switching it up, ripping some basketball, a real luxury here in Shenanigans Card Park, because as you know, if you are a collector, it is impossible to find basketball out in the wild, and it is wildly overpriced on the resale market. But being the 8 breaks of Hanukkah, we had to spoil ourselves a little bit. So we got some Chronicles, we got some Optic. Going to be a good time. Big fan of both of these products. But first, playing second base for the all-Jewish team tonight. The original second baseman for the all-Jewish team, back when we kicked it off in 2018, the legendary Jimmie Reese. Now, Jimmie Reese only played in the show for 3 years, but he spent 70 years of his life in baseball as a professional in a variety of capacities. You know, scout, coach, player, mentor. Just loved being in uniform. The guy's whole life was baseball. Legendary fungo hitter. Another fun fact about Jimmie Reese, when he was working with Nolan Ryan, who used to hit fungos all the time, Nolan Ryan loved Jimmie Reese so much, he named one of his kids Reese. How cool is that? Mr. Reese, I know you're enjoying life up there in the bleachers in the sky, so enjoy the dugout this evening, sir. It is all yours. Very nice to see him back here in Shenanigans Card Park for the 8 breaks of Hanukkah. Okay, Lucky Cup. I know you're probably not used to basketball, so get used to it. Make it quick here. Make it snappy. And let's get some good rippage going right here. Now, Chronicles is a fun product for me because I just love the variety of Chronicles. Always unique subsets. Big fan of the luminescence. So hoping we might get lucky with some of that action. And I would love to hear, as we tear into this first package here, from you out there, who is your second favorite player in basketball that you collect? Doesn't even have to be a modern player. It could be, from back when in the day, in the 80s, 90s, because I have a lot of basketball cards. I mean, I have a pretty good-sized collection, even though we don't rip it a lot here. And so maybe I can hook you up if you got some players that you're interested in collecting, and maybe I'll have a couple and I can send it your way, particularly for the longtime Fab subs who are collecting some basketball. I wanted to try to find an Amari Stoudemire card because I read that Amari Stoudemire is Jewish, or at least practices. It was a little, the information was a little iffy, but it said in the stuff I was reading that he identified with Judaism, and that basically everyone, if you date it, back to the dawn of time, is essentially Jewish. So who knows? But I could not find any Amari Stoudemire, unfortunately. Little John Wall. Oh, there we go. That's a nice one for the PC. LeBron James, unfortunately, on the COVID list. Fully vaxxed, you can still get it. Be careful out there, folks. Especially with Omicron. We got the new one now. A nice little LBJ right there. Clay, about ready to come back. I'm scared of what the Warriors are going to do when Clay comes back. They just whooped on my Clippers. Clippers have not been good the last 2 games. It's been, disgraceful to watch. But looking really strong, and they do not even have Klay Thompson or James Wiseman. So, yikes. That's going to be scary. All right, I'm going to stop flipping it upside down. Hey, a Zion! There we go. I could not pull Zion to save my life in 2019-2020 when I actually was able to get a little bit of basketball to rip. So nice to see him make an appearance. Let's give Zion a little stand here. Don't think I have this one. May have picked it up at that card show. I just can't remember. But I think he's coming back very soon. I know he's, working with the team and all that, playing 4-on-4, 5-on-5. Steph Curry. D-Book. Well, unfortunately, I guess our Luminescence is not going to be a superstar, Jackson Hayes, but these are just really cool-looking cards. Love it. It's like the Stadium Club of basketball, the Luminescence. Nola, Can't believe the Clippers lost to Nola the other night. Like I said, just looking really, really bad. Giannis, I mean, basically already a Hall of Famer, right? Just like unstoppable. The length, the strength, the speed. You just what are you going to do with all that? Except just get out of the way and watch him dominate. He's even worked on the three-point game and his free throws, so he's better at all that now too. It is sick. KPJ, Matisse Thybulle. Is that Sekou? Yeah. Pretty good player. Kendrick Nunn. All right. RJ Barrett. Did not pull a lot of RJ Barrett when I was ripping this when this came out either. And he's coming around. Bit of a slow start in his rookie year, but the Knicks playing pretty well. Pretty well. Probably still playoff team again. 2 Giannis's. Noticing that we are getting a little bit of a double up here in some of the players. That's cool. I like that. And no real duds. More Sekou. And it looks like a green parallel. I don't know this guy. Goga? Eric Paschal. Rui. Haven't heard a lot about Rui Hachimura this season. Uh-oh. Shout out to my Cleveland fans, particularly House of Cards. I know he is a Darius Garland fan. I think so. So, who knows? Maybe if that's screaming your name, Haas. Jarrett Culver. More Zion. Excellent. And a P.J. Washington green. So, not a bad hanger. Can't remember when I picked this one up. Might have been one of the card shows. But to get 2 Zions out of it, I'm still a Zion believer. I know the injuries are a little bit of an issue. People are kind of worried. Is he going to wind up being like a Sam Bowie or, poo-poo, shall we say it, like a Greg Oden or something? I don't think so. I think he will be healthy. I think if you were to compare him to somebody, it might actually be more like a Larry Johnson in terms of like if his career winds up getting cut short a bit due to injuries. Perhaps more like the Larry Johnson. So maybe 10 years. We'll see if he can get 10 years. All right, Lucky Cup. Pretty good. Nice work there. Not a home run. You don't get to run the bases, but we can have a sip. You did deliver a fun... let the Iron Horse kind of peek his head out right there. We did get an auto yesterday, but shenanigans ensued. And then I looked him up. I know that in the live chat, Like a Hawk mentioned it a little bit. Looked him up. Not quite as highly touted a prospect as I initially thought, but I think still got some good attention on him. We'll see. Probably most likely to be like a journeyman kind of player if he's able to make the show. Luka Doncic, of course. Never a bad thing to pull some Luka. He just keeps on just working at his speed. Clipper broadcaster Brian Seaman was like, he could do this when he's 45 years old because he's not fast, he's not particularly athletic, but he can just get it done. And he's 100% right. But I think that's, for Luka, he's one of these guys that has been a professional since he was like 10 overseas. So getting to the NBA professional level is really not that big a change. What do we got here? The other Curry. I always think it's funny when I watch games and they talk about Seth Curry actually has a better shooting percentage than his big bro, but he shoots way less than Steph. So I can't really say like he's a better shooter. I don't think there has ever been or will be a better shooter than Steph Curry. It's just absurd to watch him. I mean, as I get older and older, I've watched a lot of basketball, and yeah, Steph is just, it's ridiculous. It's all muscle memory for Steph. Nico Mannion, I don't even know. Is he still playing? Nice winner stays David Robinson. Pretty cool. Yeah, I have not heard anything about Nico Mannion. I wonder if he's... There's a couple guys that I kind of wonder, are they still kicking around? Are they still playing? Like Al Horford. I think he is still in the league, but I haven't heard anything about him. Cole Anthony. We got Gordon Hayward, similar. I know he's still around too, but that leg injury basically crippled his career. Tough for him to get back on top of things. All right, Lucky Cow, come on. You didn't get it all out of the way with the Chronicles hanger, although you did deliver a pretty solid hanger. Can't deny that fact. The Big Cat, Karl Anthony Towns. He's a very good player. DeMar DeRozan, Trey Jones. Our rated rookies are not popping off. That's a nice one. I do like this subset too. I just like the wave of it. Can't really go wrong with any Steph Curry cards. Give Steph a stand. How about that? Not going to cover up Jimmie Reese, though. He deserves everyone's attention. I encourage everyone to just look up Jimmie Reese a little bit. Get to know, some of these guys that were legends of the game. I mean, you can't even fathom that, right? 70 years in professional sports with Ruth and Gehrig, Nolan Ryan, Mantle. Just incredible. The stories he has, I'm sure were just wild. More dud-rated rookies. Ja Morant. Nice. Giannis My House. Unfortunately, Ja Morant, right, with the knee sprain. So we are going to have to wait and see on that. Luckily, he did not tear anything in his knee. That would have been tragic to lose him this season when he's been playing really, really well, and then not having Zion. If you lose both of those guys, real bummer to wait, a year to see them play. Not sure about him. Michael Porter Jr. too, I think, right? Isn't he kind of done for the year? That back injury. He was playing very well, but banged up. Cassius Winston and Tyler Hero showing out again. Hopefully he doesn't... I can't tell if he's streaky or not. He did not have a great playoffs last year, but this year he has been shooting very, very well. Although, I got to say, my favorite three-point shooter right now is Luke Kennard. Cool hand Luke for the Clippers. He usually, when he's feeling it, he is really feeling it. Quick trigger. Nothing but net most of the time. Good percentage. I like that. That's another reason the Clippers have been losing. They've been not shooting a great percentage. The recently retired J.J. Redick. Wow, just dud rookies all across the board in this box. Jaylen Brown, our final card. More Steph. That's a really pretty looking card. I don't think we really got any great prisms out of this. I think our only prism, I can sort of see it peeking out down here, was his brother Seth. Right? I don't believe there was another prism. So only one prism out of the entire blaster. And it's a pricey blaster, so that's another reason I don't like to buy basketball right now, because you're going to overpay on the resale market, and you wind up really not getting a great rip most of the time. Sometimes you can get lucky, but most of the time you do not wind up with a super solid rip. But I'm pretty pleased overall, and just in terms of the fun of the cards that we pulled here. A lot of color, a lot of shine, variety, really everything I kind of look for when I'm ripping basketball. And I do hope that I can maybe get lucky and get my hands on a little bit more as the season wears on, and perhaps as people cool a little bit, continue to cool a little bit on the hobby and jacking up prices on the resale market. But we just kind of have to wait and see. But leave a comment and let me know what you thought of the rippage, a little b-ball rippage here on the fourth night of the 8 breaks of Hanukkah. I look forward to reading those comments as always. Slam that like button, make sure you're subscribed to all your friends, and I'll see you next time in the broadcast booth.